final move.
You could say cross switcher and keep your fingers crossed here for Arthur. Bringing up Genesect.
It's Genesect
or Eiscue. They both have an effective 1 retreat cost because Genesect does have 1 energy on it already. Here we go for the Lost Mine. Arthur is at 120 damage onto the active. Konsta, do you have a switch card for your invite? Honolulu top decks the DT and has Escape Rope as well. Konsta is your Lille Grand Finalist, and he has won it here as the champion. Wow.
Lille regional champion, Konsta there.
Not you can't do it now, but tagging 2 Mew Vs with 90s when they evolve. Oh, but we do see the Lost Vacuum to get to 4 in the Lost Zone, so we will see a spit innocently into that Eiscue for Arthur to take the first prize card in
the Psychic Leap game plan. And there's no cleansing gloves, which for a little while was featuring in the list to try and deal with Lost Box, but at this stage, Power Tablets will suffice on some of those jumps in the deck.
Oh, Boss's Orders and Path to the Peak and Switch Cart. Path to the Peak could be interesting here. You can Judge and Path, sort of reducing Arthur's reload potential. But I don't think Konsta has a way to remove that path, so that could end up sticking for him as well. So let's see if he opts to play it.
I mean, it could be tough next turn.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to have to Techno Blast at the end of this turn to knock out the Cramorant. Maybe, he's played a Judge this turn,
yes.
So...
Oh, he's gone for it, Mike.
Interesting. Copying Techno Blast, so needs to do a little bit of work in the next turn to be able to get the next Mew out.
Oh, does have the Escape Rope? Yeah, you are correct.
Can do the Escape Rope. There was also a Switch Cart, which could retreat and Switch Cart back, but of course wanting to save that in case the sprinkles of the Lost Mine start to happen.
So Konsta might just opt to leave the path in play and just hold that that Lost Vacuum. I see no reason to replace.
Thinning that Elesa Sparkle out because there is only 3 in play. Can go into the deck. None found. Good little way to get that out the deck.
Yep. Thin it out the hand as well. Just get, you know, so you won't be drawn into it off a Roxanne or an Iono later on.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't aware, if you play an Elesa Sparkle when there are clearly 4 fusion energy in play, either on your Pokemon, in your discard pile, in the Lost Zone, anything like that, then you cannot play it. But because that fusion energy was in hand, it was possible to play the Elesa Sparkle first.
And here we go with the Mew VMAX going back into the active, resetting the effect of Techno Blast. And we are going to have to see another Techno Blast as Konsta takes 1 more tablet. You see the retreat first. So here we go. We're going to see that Switch Cart here in that 30, I should say, sorry. And then some Fusion Strike systems, Mike.
Yeah, very thinned hand as well. So these Fusion Strike systems will be going into a lot of cards. What's like 5 at this stage?
Battle VIP Pass. Oh, Lost City, I think that was. Meloetta and an Ultra Ball.
Ultra Ball is always good to see, especially as you're going to be looking to evolve one of those Mews. There we go. I mean, at this stage with the targeting of the Genesects, you know, you might at some point evolve all your Mew as well. That's something we sometimes see when the Mews are ignored. You can then just put them all up into that Mew VMAX, but at this stage you don't want to lock yourself out of Psychic Leap.
And what that Power Tablet does, it means Konsta can attack copying Max Miracle now to KO this Greninja, not have to play Ring Around the Roses in the active to attack next turn. As we do see, yep, there we go, Max Miracle for the KO.
You are wise.
As we do see the second energy onto the Comfey. Don't see that too often. Not able to use that spinning attack. You need a Psychic for that. But here we do see that Lost Mine. 12 damage counters being spread. So there we are going to see, well, that 100, well, 10 onto the Genesect and the rest onto the benched Genesect as well as Arthur gets...
We see Konsta get a knockout here with no return knockout. That'll almost definitely be the final one. And so this is a huge turn here for Arthur following this knockout. Not much more Mew can do than just swing with that Max Miracle. Sableye in the Lost Zone. Psychic in the discard. Can the next Sableye be set up? Roxanne.
What a top deck though, Mike. Getting the Roxanne and the Heavy Ball, failing it instantly. But we know Roxanne could be one fantastic piece of this puzzle for Arthur to get back in this game.
The thing is, though, the juicy cards that are left in deck, a lot of them are Colruses.
Yeah.
So that Roxanne won't go straight.
Sending your opponent out to 2 cards. We're also going to remove one of those Genesects. So now Konsta will only have 1 Fusion Strike system to reload his hand. As we do see the Lost Mine. Yep, there we go. Damage into the Sableye. I mean, the Sableye. Genesect.
So you can see there, 11 onto that Genesect will be the knockout. So 1 onto the other Genesect does not change too much at this stage. Will need the challenge for Mew VMAX, can only take out 1 prize at a turn. So it has to do 6 knockouts, which is just a lot of work for a single deck.
Mew, you don't want to be taking single prize KOs. It's worth noting, both gets to draw another 2 cards with a flower selecting.
Okay, just going to put the more options available back in. You know, you've got the water and the lightning. I mean, it would be awful if we were to see both of them on the same flower selecting.
It's possible. I mean, you don't want it to happen, but it's definitely a possibility.
I mean, at this stage, you didn't quite hit what you needed, so you're going to play the riskier option and see if you can pull it back at the final moment.
Okay, here we go. I guess you can attach the... Here we go.
What is
flower
it?
Selecting.
It's a lightning.
Mirage Gate and lightning.
So he's going to scoop.
Concession, yeah, because cannot KO that Genesect. Konsta going 1 game up here in the Lille finals, Mike.
That is a tough finish there. Just not quite able to get those pieces.
So we could see a real aggressive Cramorant here. If Arthur chooses to, you could also opt to just hold on to them. And
you've got to hold on to them.
Yeah.
1 in the lost zone, 1 in the prizes. That's your only guff for the whole game.
Oh, it looks like, yeah, we are retreating into the Cramorant there, which can attack that Lost Provisions, 110, spit innocently. It's Mew V, DTE, Power Tablet, and Lost Vacuum. Oh my goodness, Mike, that's awful.
He can still attack.
With what? Oh, again, energy? I mean,
a little Psychic Leap. There's a double turbo energy in there. It's not ideal.
What, you could even block slider here, right? 60. Doesn't actually care anything, so unfortunately. And that's a concession, Mike. Konsta realizing not a lot can be done. Wants plenty of time for a game 3.
I mean, that's it. You got to play fast here when you're sure it's over. Get over it. Move on to the next. And with Sableye in hand, not ideal right now. So some of those end game cards are in the hand. So the energy will guarantee the retreat and can get the Cramorant attack off by removing the Forest Seal Stone on the other side, or the Choice Belt. I assume the Forest Seal Stone.
Yes.
Takes away an option.
And we know one of those Forest Seal Stones is prized for Konsta, so it only has 1 available in the deck. As we do see that spit innocently into... There's no way right now that Genesect is saying, don't worry, Konsta, I've got your back. We are going to see an attack from Konsta.
Not just that, the ideal effect as well to heal some of that damage off, making it even harder for Arthur here. So that perfect draw, Switch Cart the key.
The key to victory, as it were. Has 3 retreaters. We are going to see that escape rope, though.
My goodness, it just went from it looking like Konsta was going to have to lose a turn to now Arthur in the worst spot possible.
Yeah, and like you said, it could be a decision as easy as lost zoning 1 Comfey when you have prize 2.
Tough decision there for Arthur, taking away options. But realistically, it was another draw 3 for Konsta, which in that position doesn't need anything more at this stage. He's just going to be announcing attacks.
What you want to do now is Konsta has developed 2 Mew VMAX. You can just retreat between them if necessary. We do see a double turbo energy, so we can even use a Max Miracle to KO as Konsta.
So the Greninja here will purely be damage spread, no prize cards taken.
You can't, that's all you can do in this scenario. Try and stay in this game and hope that Sableye can, you know, come around and clean up some of these KOs. But as it stands now, no prize cards being taken for Arthur as Konsta puts those damage counters on, and then he will look to get his turn started.
Yeah, a gust onto the Dragonite here.
Ooh, so he's doing to find out.
Next turn, in conjunction with the Judge that's in hand.
Wow, yeah.
So this is where we genuinely cannot tell at this stage. It's more in favor of Konsta, but Arthur is 2 attacks away from winning the game.
Arthur needs to get a Sableye this turn, right? It's almost a necessity. I mean, I guess you could you could bring like Shuriken again as well. Bit
possibility.
Costly, but it's an option. Let's see what obviously double cross switcher in hand now, actually. There we see a switch cart into the Sableye. The Psychic Energy coming down, which means Lost Mine is able to be used for prize turn, Mike. Evening it all up here. Pressure back on Konsta.
Great prizes too there. A Chorus Experiment, a Water Energy.
This Judge.
Konsta doesn't care what he gets. He's just going to be announcing 2 attacks and hoping that it works. At this stage, it's all on Arthur's turn. The knockout will be coming through. And it is on a bench Comfey, not worried about the Sableye.
Using that block slider, because Sableye can't and keep your fingers crossed here for Arthur. Bringing up a Genesect.
It's Genesect
or Eiscue. They both have an effective 1 retreat cost, because Genesect does have 1 energy on it already. Here we go for the Lost Mine. Arthur is at 120 damage onto the active. Konsta, do you have a switch card for your invite? Honolulu top decks the DT and has Escape Rope as well. Konsta is your Lille grand finalist, and he has won it here as the champion. Wow.
Lille regional champion, Konsta there. Not